Money is something that we all need and one of the driving factors for most people when it comes to their work. Everyone aspires to earn as much money as possible in their life, and that's a good thing, but what many don't tend to think about is the limit. To what limit should you keep earning? Meaning, if someone comes today and gives you X amount of money, you would say, okay, this is it. This is all I want to live a happy and comfortable life till I die. I no longer need to work anymore for money. So in this video, I'll talk about the reasons why everyone should definitely have this number in their mind and how do you go ahead and calculate it. So jumping to the reason. First, the endless chase towards money comes to an end. So we may think in our mind that we need say 100 crores or 200 crores in order to live a happy and comfortable life, but in actuality that may be a very high number. Or on the other hand, we might think we need 20 or 30 lakhs, but then again that might be a low number. So when you go ahead and calculate the amount of money that you would actually need, that becomes realistic and practical, and that endless chase towards money and doing each and everything that is focused just on earning money will come to an end when you reach that number that you have calculated. And second, when you calculate this number, this acts as a vision or target towards which you can work. So this can become a purpose or a driving force behind whatever you're doing, because you now know that you need to reach that particular number which you have calculated, and that can act as a hidden purpose or a motivation behind whatever you are currently doing. Okay, so let's see now how do you go ahead and actually calculate that number, and there is only one place where we need to go for that.
बहुत सारा Excel खेलने वाले हैं.
Okay, the way we would do this is, so imagine a perfect week or a perfect month that you would want to have for yourself. The places where you would eat, what you would buy, where you would stay, what car you would drive in, etc, etc. So think about these things very carefully, and we are going to then jot down the expenses that you would be requiring to make on a monthly basis if you want to live that kind of life. So let's start off with what I have done for myself. Now, as you can see, these are the items that I have calculated, and these are the expenses which I would be incurring on a monthly basis to live the life that I want. You can see first we have house maintenance, then we have restaurant, your insurance premium, term insurance, gym, household expenses, and all that stuff. And these are the amounts that you would be calculating on a monthly basis. Now, from where do you get these amounts? Because you have to be careful as to what you put here. They need to be realistic. So let's start with house maintenance. So for me, I do not want to live in a very big house or a big bungalow, as you would say. A 3 BHK apartment would be just fine, because as of now I'm single and I'm not sure what would happen in the future. But if at all anything happens, the apartment that I have chosen is more than sufficient, I think. So the amount that I have chosen for my apartment is 1 crores. Now, where I stay currently, there is an apartment that I know that's few kilometers from my place, and I've seen the videos for those apartments online, and I think I can stay in a place like that. So I went online and I researched a bit, and I found out what are the house maintenance charges that they pay on a monthly basis to the complex that they are staying in, and this is the amount that I came up with, around 3,500. Now these amounts, they do not have to be exact, but they should not be way off also. It should be a very good estimate, I would say. So this is how I arrived at 3,500. This would vary obviously depending on your location, where you want to stay, whether you want to stay where you're currently at or you want to stay outside India even. If you do proper research, you can get all the information that you want. Next, I have restaurant. Obviously, everyone goes to restaurant nowadays. You have a fair idea as to how much you would be spending on good quality food if you want to have. So I've taken 16,000 monthly, and the frequency for that I've decided is I would want to visit restaurant maybe 4 times a month. So that's once per week, because I do not want to be eating all that junk food too much. And per visit, 4,000 would be a good amount if it's just for me. So that's how I've calculated this. I know it sounds kind of sad that I'm thinking of going and eating at a restaurant by myself, but to be frank, I don't mind. It's fine with me. So next, health insurance premium. This obviously you would already have, and you should have, and you already know the amount of premium that you're paying per year. Just convert that to monthly and you can put it here. Same goes for term insurance. You know your term insurance annual figure, convert that to a month and put it here. Gym, you can very well find out your local gymnasium or a good gymnasium near your place, how much they charge, and you can put that here. For example, the gym that I'm currently going to, that's 1,500, and that's quite good, but still I have taken 500 extra and I've put 2,000 here. Household expenses, so how do you calculate this? Now for this, you should have a fair idea as to how much you're currently spending, let's say on grocery, on other food items and other allied expenses like that you incur on a monthly basis to run your house basically. So calculate that and put that number here, because see, basically this expense won't go up significantly no matter how rich you become, because the food that you're currently eating, I mean, how much difference will it make even if you become very rich? You would be eating the same vegetables and the same groceries. Or maybe if you want to shift to organic vegetables, They are slightly expensive. So you can research that out and you can calculate approximately how much will you be spending on a monthly basis if you bought organic vegetables, and calculate that and you put that here. So currently for myself alone, I spend around 10 to 12,000 on grocery, foods, vegetables, protein powders and stuff. But still I have added an additional maybe 5 to 8,000 and I've made it to 20,000 and I've put that here. Now the next that we have is investment. Now this is something that you may exclude as well, because if you're calculating the ultimate amount of money that you would have, you don't have any reason for you to invest even more. So if you want, you can exclude. But for me, my plan is I would be accumulating this amount, and when I die, the total amount that I've accumulated, that would go to some form of donation. So that's the objective with which I've kept this investment amount. Then we have traveling. Okay, so how do you calculate traveling? If you are a travel person, so you can include that. So now I went online and I calculated 15 days stay at London. So if I travel to London and stayed there for 15 days, what would be the total cost that I would incur? So stay, accommodation, visits, food, transportation, flight and everything. Total came to around 5 lakhs for 15 days stay in London in today's times. And I have doubled that, because obviously when I have time on my side and I don't have to keep working for money, I would not want to travel only for 15 days a year or much more than that. So if I'm doing any traveling inside India, it would be much cheaper, and if I'm traveling abroad, it would be expensive to some extent. So that's why I've doubled that and I've taken 10 lakhs. Now this you can calculate and you can arrive at this number for yourself. All the information is available nowadays on internet. It won't be much of an issue. Okay, so next we have petrol. So I really love driving. So this amount that I've calculated that I would be spending on petrol based on today's price converts to around 1,000 kilometers of driving every month. Now it could easily be more than that. That's the minimum amount that I've calculated. But for as of now, 1,000 kilometers seems to be a fair number for me, that I would want to be traveling every month, going on long trips and stuff. So for that, I have taken 10,000. And then obviously I have included donation as well. So every month, some amount would go as a donation to any organization or any NGO that I choose. So my total monthly expense here comes to around 1,70,000. So first, you convert that to an annual amount. So you can multiply 1,70,000 into 12, and then you multiply it by 1.3, or you add an extra 30% as a cushioning. If any emergency happens or if any sort of contingency happens, anything could happen. So for that, I have added another extra 30%. Now this is the annual amount that I have arrived at. So now that I have the annual amount, what is this? So this is the principal that you would require. That would help you to generate this annual amount of 26,50,000 every year. So what do I mean by that? So this amount comes by dividing 26,52,000 by 6%, which means if I have 4 crores 42 lakhs and I put that in the safest investment option that we have today, that will give you around 6% returns. That would give you an annual figure of 26,52,000. So if you invest 4 crores 42 lakhs as of today, you can expect to receive 26,52,000 every year, and that you can convert to an annual income. So that's the logic with which I have arrived at this figure, which is 4 crores 42 lakhs. So this annual amount that you are seeing here, this is the interest, you can say. This is not the principal amount. The principal amount that you would be accumulating, that would be saved somewhere, and you would be living off only on the interest that comes off that principal amount. So that's how I've chosen to do, and that's why I've calculated this 4 crores 42 lakhs. Now, two important things for me that was missing from this monthly amount calculations were house and car. Now, car is something that I love. You may choose to exclude that if you want, but you would obviously want to stay in a house and you need to include that. So the cost for a house that I've taken as of today, that comes to 1 crores, because I went online and the price for the apartments that I liked based on the size and the location came to around rupees 1 crores. And so I've put down rupees 1 crores here. And car, I do not intend to buy any car that's above 25 lakhs. I don't think that would add any value to my driving experience or to my life. So that's the reason I've stuck with a car that's 25 lakhs. And this 25 lakhs which I arrived at, this was based on research. So I went online and I checked a lot of luxurious cars that we have, and the cars in the range of 20 to 25 lakhs. And that's how I arrived at this number. So you can do your research and you can put down a price for the dream car. You may have a dream car that you would definitely want to purchase. You can definitely put that here. And now when I add all this, then it comes to a final figure of around 5 crores 67 lakhs, around 5.6 crores. So these numbers which you saw, these are today's numbers, that is as of December 2022. You would need to keep updating them every year because of inflation. So if inflation is 6%, you need to increase every number by 6% every year, because the things that I have calculated, the price for those would change a lot, say in 10 or 15 years time. So 5.67 crores would not be the amount if you want to say reach this target in 10-15 years. So every year keep updating these numbers by 6% or by the inflation rate that you have in your country. Now another important thing that I would like to highlight is these numbers are work in progress. You can keep adding, deleting from them every year based on what you experience, based on what you observe. But a very important mindset with which you should be calculating these figures is, because the figures that you would calculate serves as the base. You cannot over exaggerate these figures and you cannot be very miser about these figures. They have to be practical and they have to be a very good estimation. Now let me give an example as to what I'm talking about. When I chose the car for 25 lakhs, which you just saw, I was very conscious about the fact that if I buy an Audi or a BMW or a Rolls Royce, which was, I would say, 60, 70, 1 crore, 2 crores, that would not be adding too much value to my life. And that's how you need to think about these things, because these are all material things. You need to be very aware as to how much value add these things have in your life, because your brain can trick you to think, okay, I might want a Mercedes, but when you actually go ahead and purchase one, after 1 month and 2 months of usage, you'll find out that it's not making any significant difference in your life. There's a video which I made about this as to how your brain can trick you and how you can fall into the hedonic treadmill. I'll link it up here, you can go and check it out. So be very conscious about the things that you would want. Do not directly jump into a house that's like 2 stories high that has around 10 to 12 rooms, because if you are 2, 3 or 4 people, why would you need a house that's 2 stories tall than that has 20 to 25 rooms? Now obviously I'm not here to suggest what type of house you should be having for yourself, but approach it with this kind of mindset and this kind of mentality, because you might think that buying this house or buying this stuff will add value, wherein in reality it won't, because at the end of the day these are tools, these are material things. So be very careful, think about it, introspect a lot, and then calculate these numbers, because the number that you calculate, you will be targeting that. And the last point that I would like to highlight is calculating this number does not mean that you would be retiring when you arrive at this number. It means that if you have this amount today in your hands, you would no longer be working just for money. Time would be your friend. You would have time in your hands and you would be doing whatever you want. You can keep earning even more money as a byproduct if that happens, but just earning for money would stop. You would be doing whatever you want. You can go and help someone. You can go and add value to others' lives in whatever way you want, or you can just chill in a beach. So that's up to you, but I'm not talking about retiring, because I do not like the concept of retirement. You should keep working for your entire life till the time you are alive, but the type of work that you do, that obviously has to change. And once you accumulate this amount, that will definitely change. So that's the objective with which you would want to arrive at this number and then target it through your current work. If you want to know why people are paying $69 million for buying digital items, you can go ahead and click here. And if you want to know more about stagflation and what's happening around the world today, you can go ahead and click here. That was it for this video. And until the next one, take care, see you, and bye-bye.